Welcome into a Tuesday edition of Views from the Stands. I truly appreciate you guys all tuning in with us. I'm your host, Stevie B, Steve Bennon, and we are continuing this streak of being at full strength. I got my guy, Mr. BC, we got the GM, G Mike, and we have a fun-filled, packed show for you tonight. The Florida Gators have fired Billy Napier, and I can hear the cheers coming from all over the state of Florida right now. Was it a catch or was it not? Tell me if you heard this one or not. We're going to talk about that TJ Hockenson controversial catch the other day happened during that game at a really crucial moment. So we're going to go over that one a little bit. We also got a fresh new Brandon's Bullpen with the World Series all set. First time matchup, which actually for the World Series. It's going to be kind of cool. BC is going to break that all down for us. We also break down 2 Monday Night Football games and give you a preview of the Thursday Night Football game that's coming up. Finally, the NBA is officially back. It's actually going right now. So we'll try and keep you up to date as we go on with the show, with what's going on right now. You got the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Houston Rockets kicking this thing off. But we are going to go ahead and give you our picks for all of the awards for the season this year. But before we get into all that, we need to pay some bills. Mr. G Mike, you're in the house. Let the good people know what you got going on.
Yes, sir. What's up, baby? Happy Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, baby. We got those sports gambling slips, man. If you're into sports gambling, got a Telegram channel for you guys where we charge $10 a month to get you winnings from anywhere to $25 to $50 to $100 a day. There's an affiliate program in there as well. If you start a conversation with me, you'll see the link pop up in the chat right about now. If you're watching the live episode, if not, if you're watching the recorded episode, you'll see a pop-up on your screen as well as my social media accounts. Just pick which one you want to send me a DM to. We'll start a conversation on how you could get on and popping and start making money, baby, because tonight NBA is back and we got Thunder winning by 3 and we got the Lakers not winning by 8, baby. So if you're watching the live episode, you're welcome.
Absolutely. Mr. BC, it's good to see you, my friend. Want you could tell the people what you got going on, my man.
We got BC the Brand. We got G-Mac right there. But first, before we get to that, BC the Brand. You can find that on my new social media handle for all my Instagram, on Facebook, at BC the Brand _media. If you're following on IG, just kind of gives you a link to some of the stuff that I've been doing down here in Central Florida, working camera for in-house production for sports. Been doing public address announcing as well, just kind of following a little bit of the journey along the way. You know, also find the website at bcthebrand.com. Again, if you or anybody needs some voiceover work, needs some commercial work, announcing, camera work, you name it, just hit me up over there. That's where you're going to kind of see a little bit of what to kind of expect, the portfolio, resume, all that kind of stuff. You know what to do. Even got some vlogs, or not some vlogs, some blogs as well. If you guys want to kind of see what the experience is like working in pro sports. Just a little bit of some fun stuff there cooking over there. And then, of course, can't forget the missus. My wife, Desi, and I have our small business, Brand Des Media. Got your wedding, event photography, videography coverage. We've got also senior portraits because it may be fall, but it's never too early to start thinking about senior formals, of course. Also, too, if you got engagement photo shoots, if you got, again, corporate stuff needs to get done and logged and vlogged, we got you guys covered at at branddes.media. That's where you can see our portfolio and see for what you're looking for over there.
Absolutely, guys. And we got to give another shout out, man. Varsity Sports Nation. What up, fellas? Man, they've been helping us out since we've been started with this thing, man. You want high school sports, they got you, man. You want college sports, they got you. You want content just like you're watching right now, they got you. And the best part about this whole thing is that it's on a convenient app for you to download on your iOS, your Android, Roku TV, Apple TV, Fire TV, any social medias. You can also catch our show on demand right there, as well as a lot of other great sports content that's on there. And we've been getting a lot of love from Varsity out there, so we really appreciate them riding with us. So we ask you just show support to whoever's been supporting us. Show some support to them as well. And while you're showing support, how about give us a like and subscribe? We're on pretty much where you guys get stuff. We're just got added to Amazon Music, so check us out on there. We're on YouTube. We are on Spotify. We are on iHeartRadio. We are on Apple Radio, or Apple Podcast. We're pretty much every damn well, and we actually just signed a new thing with a new company that we want to promote a little bit, and it's Podmatch. Podmatch is going to be kind of fun, new experience for us. If you guys want to come on as any kind of guests or anything, Podmatch is a great way to find it, and also a great way to find a lot of great content out there. So we really appreciate Podmatch reaching out to us and getting hooked up with that. So, like I said before, if you can please just go ahead and give us that like and subscribe, we greatly appreciate it. But without further ado, fellas, how about we get into some news?
News from the world of sports.
All right, man. And if you didn't know by now, Billy Napier is officially fired as the Florida Gators head coach. His overall record was 22-23. He had a 12-16 record in the SEC. He did have some notable wins. He did win his last game, by a mere 2 points, I believe it was. Man, let's face it, man. Billy Napier came into Florida to be a great rivalry, a great coach to come in and recruit really well. And he had a combined in-state rival. Check this out, man. G-Mac, you're going to appreciate this, and same thing with you, Mr. BC. He only won a combined 3-12 against in-state rivals, including losing to both of you guys. His home performances in his first 28 games, Napier suffered more losses than Urban Meyer had in 80 games, and Steve Spurrier had in a total of 150 games. It's been just a bad all-around area for Billy Napier. I was always a big Napier guy. I did like Billy Napier. I liked his style. I liked the lean on your coach. Mr. BC, I'm already upset about this one, man. What's your thoughts on this one, considering you guys just beat us as well?
It's a matter of time. It's pretty much the only thoughts I had. And aside from you, I got several friends who are Gator fans. They were pretty much pounding the table as well. They wanted to see Napier gone. They wanted to see him done. And, it wasn't really much of a mixed bag. It was pretty much like the sooner the better. And, we had this conversation last show about, do you want to stick to a coach for, the whole season, want to give him a chance? He's had his time. He's obviously, it seems like he's kind of lost, at least in my opinion, I think he's lost the locker room a little bit. It's one of those things where, you might as well just kind of cut your losses, let him go, and just build something new at Florida. Bring in somebody who you feel like can maybe help build a great culture there, and somebody that's going to build something that will be, get the Gators back, I guess, in the front seat, so to say.
You guys see that Johnny Manziel was saying that Urban Meyer should be back with the Gators?
Ooh.
I had that thought that might be a rumor that would get started somewhere in there. I don't know. I don't see that one happening, especially the way he left. He had, apparent heart conditions, and all of a sudden Ohio State opens up and he's perfectly fine and ready to go win national championships. So I don't think that they would go back down that Urban Meyer route, to be honest with you.
Your thoughts perhaps on Tim Tebow if he decided to go and coach for the Gators. What do you think about that?
So Tebow would be more – I would like to have Tebow more as like the Andrew Luck role that's been going on at like Stanford and some of these other guys that are doing like the GM work that can help out with recruiting. I don't know Tim Tebow as far as his X's and O's when it comes to coaching. The last time we saw Tebow on the field or affiliated with football was with the Jags, and he didn't make the team with Urban Meyer. So I don't know what his actual coaching paralysis is, if you will. But I guess that we can go ahead and start the rumor mills if you want now. Most Gators fans are clamoring for Lane Kiffin. I don't know if Lane Kiffin's going to come to UF, just for the simple fact of he has a good thing going at Ole Miss right now. Ole Miss is recruiting really well. He has a good thing going. He's making a lot of money. They're playing pretty well. I don't know if that's actually going to happen. James Franklin is out there as well. I don't know if that would be a great hire for Florida. I think it's almost basically the same thing as Billy Napier. Just for the simple fact you've got a good guy, a great guy that people seem to like, but can't seem to win big games. Napier's whole thing was whenever he came there, he was supposed to be a great recruiter. And he came from smaller schools where he was dominant and had a hell of a record going into this before he got to Florida. Florida, just unfortunately, they could never get over the hump. And it really disappointing on my end of it, because if you guys remember how excited we were and how excited, or at least I was, going into the end of last season, I honestly thought they were going to be, national champion contenders coming into this season. Their schedule was prime for them to be able to do that, to be able to go against a bunch of good teams, and it just fell apart. They looked like they regressed, which is probably part of the reason why he ended up losing the position here. I got nothing but love, actually, for Billy Napier, though, be honest with you. I think he was a stand-up guy here his time at Florida. I think he handled the media well. He tried everything he could. It's tough to compete against the Georgias, the Alabamas, Ohio States of the world right now. And I think that once Florida kind of realizes that we kind of have to start from the ground back up and get like a grassroots campaign and restart this entire process, because it's not 2006 anymore. It's not the early 2000s. And we got to start living in the now and realize the fact that Florida is a destination if they're winning. Otherwise, they're not competing even with Florida State or Miami at this point. Hell, UCF might be even getting some of their better recruits at this point. So shout out to USF. I mean, they end up winning the game. So I don't know, man. I do like the Billy Napier time, and especially going into the end of last season, like I was saying before, I just wish that this would have just kept that momentum going. Lagway doesn't look the same as he did last year. I just can't figure out what actually went wrong, because they actually had a good recruiting class, and I think they went in number 13 in the country. They held their own with a few teams and then just got stomped. And then they end up beating Texas. So it's tough to say any given freaking football Sunday, or Saturday in this instance. But I don't know, man. I don't even know who I want to see in there. I was talking to a friend of mine, and he was saying maybe Manny Diaz could possibly be out there. I don't really know. It's tough to say. I just think that Florida needs to find the right coach in the aspect of a good recruiting coach, because Napier was a good recruiter, but he's a good recruiter for the Sun Belt. You need big boy football. You need somebody else to come in and be able to handle SEC football.
I'm probably going to be wrong about this, but I'm just going to float it out there just for fun anyway. I already teased it a little bit, but at some point, maybe not the next coach, maybe not in 2-3 years, but maybe in 5-10 years, I honestly, just my thoughts about it, I could see Tebow going into it. Again, could be wrong. I feel like maybe the itch to maybe come back and fill that Andrew Luck role will start it. But I think maybe just over time he might like getting into it. And to me, just his mindset and who he is, he's never been really the X's and O's kind of guy. He strikes me as more of a Dan Campbell kind of coach, where he just inspires you, fires you up and gets you to want to run through a brick wall. But it's a fun little thing. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but yeah, I definitely agree. They need a culture change in Gainesville. Otherwise, either it's going to be like the 70s and the 80s, just in early 90s, or not the 70s and 80s, just kind of a lot of irrelevancy for the university.
It's tough for me to think that Tebow would give up TV money for coaching money, because a lot of headaches come with coaching, and it's like if you hear coaches talk about how much time they put in, bro, there's some weeks that they only sleep 2-3 days, and does Tebow really want to give that up with everything that he's got going on? He got so many endorsement commercials and just talking on TV, College Game Day and stuff like that. I don't know if he would really want to give that up to go coach. Now, if he would, and he would want to put that on his legacy, I think it would be, a good challenge for him, after everything that he's been through with football. I think UF would embrace him 100%. I feel like a lot of people would be behind him and actually give him the support and courage that he would need to lead a football team. But is it really worth it to give up TV money to go coach a university?
Be honest with you, I can see Tebow running for president before I write him. I can see him running for trying to be the head coach of the Gators. To be honest with you, man, I don't know. Do you guys have any kind of? I'll start with you, Mr. BC. Do you have any kind of inklings on who you think besides Tebow, maybe a coach that's out there right now that might be up for the Florida job?
I've heard
John Gruden.
Oh gosh, no. Gosh, no.
If he's going, he's still. I don't know if that lawsuit is done with or not. I know there was a lawsuit going on that he was suing the NFL because of all the emails that came out and all that stuff.
I think he won that. I think that's over with now.
Okay, so I think he won. Okay, so he won it, and but is he gonna be able to coach again in the NFL? And would he want to coach again in the NFL after everything that he's been through with all that stuff? So it's like maybe he still wants to coach. Still coach, and maybe UF would be a good place for him. I feel like he could be a great coach, Obviously he did work in Tampa, and maybe he could continue to do work. And Florida at heart, he's a Florida guy. So maybe.
No, I could definitely see Gruden possibly being there. And there was big rumor too that he was in town actually about 2 weeks ago, in Gainesville, maybe scoping some stuff out. So I could honestly see Gruden being a great fit for Florida because I think his style he's not going to overwear like the pro players and stuff like that. That fight and desire. You only have to do this for X amount of weeks in college. And you got new guys come in and they're always going to be impressed, if you will. Not with the pros where they kind of got I don't know. I think that Gruden would be. I would be perfectly fine with Gruden coming in and maybe taking over that position.
Yeah, I mean, you put it like that. That does make a lot of sense. I'm strictly just thinking about it from the pro lens and stuff like that. But yeah, you're right. You're cycling through college players every couple of years, especially with the transfer portal rules and stuff. Mm-hmm. I've heard Alex Golish from USF be floated around as somebody that might, potentially, if he decides he wants to kind of use USF as a springboard into a bigger program. And he's already built, obviously, season's still like halfway to go, but he's already built a team that, and changed the culture in South Florida. So it wouldn't surprise me to hear Florida, hear Gainesville come knocking and try to pull him away from Tampa. But again, I don't know if it happens. I think it just depends though too on maybe like if the stadium deal and stuff, if he wants to be a part of that, if he wants to usher in that new era of Bulls football. But I think Alex Golish would be kind of a dark horse candidate for me that could potentially land the Gators job.
Yeah, it's going to be definitely a TBD. As of right now, the wide receivers coach is going to be taking over for the remainder of the season. As what the writing on the wall is, that's who's been announced. They do have the bye week, and then they have the big game against Georgia coming up in about 2 weeks, November 1st. So we'll see if that momentum can carry over. Maybe new coach, new blood, new recruit, if you will, coming in there. So we'll see, man. But Billy Napier, man, I hope the best for him in his professional career. I think he will get another position somewhere. I just don't know if it's going to necessarily be in the head coaching ranks, maybe for a couple of years to come over there. But we'll see. All right, guys. So we've had this issue for a little while now, and I want to read you guys off something here. And this really pertains to the TJ Hockenson catch or no catch. All right, so I did a little research, and this is what the NFL has listed as what is a catch. There's 3 parts to this, so you guys ready here? All right, a catch occurs when control the ball. The player must secure the ball with their hands and arms before it touches the ground. Simply touching the ball or deflecting it is not enough. Number 2, 2 feet or any body part down. The playmaker must get both feet down or another body part besides the hands. For a player in the end zone, getting 1 foot down is sufficient for a touchdown. Also, while maintaining control of the ball. Number 3, maintaining control through the process of the catch. And this is where it all starts getting a little haywire here. If the player goes to the ground while catching, they must maintain control of the ball through the contact with the ground. If the ball touches the ground and the player loses control, it is incomplete, even if they initially have possession. Surviving the ground. And here's where the fun one is here, surviving the ground. Is the phrase often used, the ball can move slightly, but it cannot come loose. That's a whole lot to take in there, and I don't think that the NFL even knows what the hell they're doing with it either, because we're still running into the same damn problems. And I think that we got a video clip here for you, courtesy of Fox Sports, of just TJ Hockenson himself explaining what he's talking about here.
Figure it out. It's New York can't call in and say that it's not a catch when every other ref out there says it is. I mean, that's all it is to it. That's all there is to it. It would give them a stop at the end. But, I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, this whole thing, you can't have somebody call in that's not at the game and with apparently a different view than everybody else has here. I mean, it is what it is.
He had a lot to say there, man. Mr. G. Mike, why don't you unpack what he was just saying, man?
Okay, so let's just talk about what he was talking about, right? And then we'll talk about the catch and everything. He's talking about that New York, because New York is the replay center. They look at every single touchdown. They go over it to see if it was a touchdown or not. They call in and they let the refs know, yo, that's a touchdown. Yo, that's not a touchdown. So he's complaining on the fact that New York does that and the NFL allows New York to do that. Again, just a replay center, not New York in general. And I disagree with what he's saying, because at the end of the day, there's millions of dollars involved with coaches, players, organizations, and even us fans that like to sports gamble, right? Fantasy football, just gambling on the regular player props, team props, game lines, whatever the case may be when it comes to sports gambling. So there's a lot of money that's involved into it. So one catch, one TD catch, one team's win, one team's loss can affect a team's whole season, a fan's money, pocket, a team organization's money, players' money, all the above, right? So I disagree with what he's saying that New York can't call in and reverse the call, because I think that you should make sure that every single touchdown is either a touchdown or not.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that's been a debate that's been going on since what, Des Bryant. I mean, I know you know what I'm talking about, it being a Cowboys fan and that. We still haven't figured this one out. BC, what's your thoughts, man?
Look, I may disagree like G Mike with Hockenson as far as like, yeah, you do need to be allowed to have, the right call be done. My pushback against this call is the fact that it was overturned. Like, we've looked at this multiple times, obviously before the show, and even looking at it again, slow-mo. What's always been the consensus for overturning a call? Clear and convincing evidence. I've been watching this touchdown catch, even again, just trying to see, is there anything that I can see through it that says, okay, yeah, that's clearly not a catch. Clearly he lost control when it made contact. Clearly this. No, it's not. This is something where it's not necessarily confirmed by, looking at it again through the replay, but this is something that it's not, there's not enough evidence, in my opinion, to overturn that. The ball, if it makes contact with the ground, it's minimal. If it made contact with the ground, it did not cause him to lose possession at all at any point during the catch. And again, which it's allowed. It's allowed to make contact with the ground as long as you don't lose possession. So my thing is, there's not clear enough evidence from the angles that we're seeing to show that, okay, yeah, no, it definitely needs to be overturned. It's not clear and convincing enough. At least in my opinion.
Can we play it again, please? Play it again. I wanna see exactly what BC's talking about, because I've seen it, but I just want to see it right now and make sure before I go and I say something else that is incorrect.
Because I'm just looking at it from mostly the front angle where he's catching it at the front.
On this clip that Steve put up, it shows it. You just try to.
I don't understand.
Not this side. You don't see it on this side.
Rule at this point. J.A. had one like the exact same thing last year.
Get it right one day.
So they got to figure it out.
So just
New York can't call in and say
right there he loses control.
Catch when every other ref out there says
right when he pops, when his body pops up, the ball moves and it goes like his wrist goes like this. And the ball comes on top of it.
But see, my thing with that is, was the ground causing that? Because he hit the ground from the front, and then his hands rolled up under it. And then once his hands rolled up under it, that's when you start seeing again like that brief loss of possession there. So I don't know. It's one of those things where it's. Let me just try to take a look one more time, because like I said, It looks like it's one of those where it could be, could not be. We're still trying to figure this crap out.
I would have said it was a catch. If it was my opinion, I would have gave that the catch and the touchdown there, because like you were saying too.
And he's in bounds, mind you. He's also in bounds.
Right. And just I think that the element of where there was in the game, what was going on, the importance of that play, and on top of it too, the ball you're able to, like they were saying too, and we read the rules, it is able to touch the ground as long as they maintain control. He did maintain control there, but
he didn't He didn't maintain control. Exactly. When he hit the ground, the ball was still there. He was still there in his hands, but when he popped up, when his body popped up, he tried to like bring it in. Like I know you've seen other players do it. That they go.
Yeah,
catch the ball and they try to turn their body so they put the ball over themselves instead of having the ball towards the ground because they know that it can pop out. He tried to do that, but when he tried to do that, the ball moves from his placement and it goes from his wrist to his thumb. Watch.
Yeah.
Can't
Yeah,
see.
and that's what
Right here,
we're
you
seeing
see
from that side angle though too. Yeah,
You
Right.
see how it
Here's the
pops
shifts?
bull.
up right there. Yeah,
You see how it
but I would
shifts?
say that yeah, but I wouldn't say that that's caused by the ground though. I would say that was just cause of him trying to move it after he had established possession and then trying to
Exactly.
shift
Yeah.
it, which is something again we like you said we've seen how many times. Like I think the catch in the Patriots, I think it might have been the Julio Edelman catch with the Patriots in the Super Bowl against the Falcons, where it was like kind of popping around or whatever. They call that completion. So for me, my thing is if the ground didn't cause it, which there's not enough evidence to show that, then in my opinion, the call just should have stood. Not that it was confirmed, not that it was overturned, but that it just stood. There wasn't enough evidence. But
Yeah. So,
again,
so
go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say. So I just want to be clear that
Yeah.
I would have said that's a catch because of the fact that I
Yeah.
think that it should be taken into account on how hard that damn catch was. First of all, like for real. Like, let's be serious. We're an entertaining sport, right? It's supposed to be entertaining. So I would have been like, yo, that was tough as hell. And he still hold on to it while he turned his body over and he had it there. Yeah, he did. It shifted from his hands. I think that's what I see. It shifted from his hands. But when it shifted from his hands, he was still able to keep it above from touching the ground, turn his body over, and put it on his chest. I would have said that's a touchdown because of how challenging that catch would have been. But just going based off the rules, what Steve has read off, if the ball moves when you hit the ground, I don't remember the exact words. So Steve,
I can do it again real quick.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go over this one. Maintaining control through the process of the catch. 3 parts of this. If the player goes to the ground while catching, they must maintain control of the ball through the contact with the ground. Number 2, if the ball touches the ground and the player loses control, it is incomplete even if they initially had possession, which is, I think, this where that comes in here. And here's another one here that the third part of this, surviving the ground. If is the phrase used often, the ball can move slightly, but it cannot come loose.
It didn't come loose because he still had a body part on it, but he did lose control. Like you could tell that it shifted from his hand. Like it wasn't the way that because when you look at the first on that clip, when you look at the first initial grab, he grabs it like this. He grabs it 2 hands. And then he hits the ground. You won't see it on this clip. I think it starts too later, like a millisecond later. But maybe in this one, you see how he caught it. That he had both hands like this. The ball was here. When he hits the ground, his hands move, which is the shift of control. Which is why I think that it's a good call. But again, I think that there should be, since we're an entertainment business, I think there should be some type of leeway of, yo, that was challenging as hell, and he still was able to not let the ball hit the ground after he turned his body and everything. But that's just an opinion. Really.
All right, so I got a new rule then, because you're right, it is an entertaining there. So we gave coaches a challenge flag. Can we just give like a badass play flag? Right there, exactly. Like you got it's a green flag or something like that, and like just throw it out there. You have to be dramatic when you throw it out. Give a badass play flag, and hey, you have to
flag
go
with fire that comes on the end.
Yeah, something like there's an explosion that goes off, like it's just the badass play of the day. You get one chance, one shot, and that would be fun. It would not. A lot of people would probably be pissed off, especially the gambling aspect of things. But I'm all for it, man. I think it'd be a lot of fun to have the badass flag. How about that one? The BAF.
Yeah, but to go off on what he was saying, I don't disagree on what he was saying because I think every touchdown should be reviewed, no matter what. Because, dude, like we're humans, we make mistakes. You think referees and players are robots? They are not. They are not. They make mistakes as well. So I think that every single touchdown should be reviewed.
Yeah, that's especially if we have the technology, why not use it?
Exactly.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of the point out. I guess for me, where I'm just getting the hang up is that I don't think the ground caused it. I think that he established control up until the point, like we said, where he was trying to shift it to get it closer to his body so that way he doesn't make contact anymore and he's trying to bring it in closer to himself.
Mm-hmm.
And that, again, for me, I just don't think there was enough evidence to overturn it. I don't. But again, I've seen catches where guys will catch it and they'll fall on their back, but then it pops out, but then they grab it back. That's a catch.
Yeah,
And we're kind of
because they never
following
hit the
that.
ground. Because they never hit the ground.
Yeah, so it's one of those things like where it's still like, come on, what are we doing? I mean, we're gonna find out though too in a minute. We're gonna talk about another rule with the NFL that wasn't even applied to with the referees.
Well,
Which
let's go ahead and get into it because I'm
got
sure
the
you're,
graphic, man. Let's do
fired
it.
up about your Tampa Bay Bucks taking on the Detroit Lions. The graphic is up. You can see it right there. Tampa Bay scored 9 and the Detroit Lions scored 24. Man, this was a extreme offensive explosion from the Detroit Lions, man. They outrushed them by, it was 70 yards to Lions 139. Passing yards 146 for the Bucks. 324 for the Lions. First downs, the Buccaneers only had 14. Lions had 26. Here's another good one for you here, which is kind of interesting how this game went. Time of possession wasn't really that off. Time of possession was 26.7, where the Lions had the ball for 33.53 seconds. So it wasn't that much off time of possession. It just seemed like the Bucs were really not – it just was off, And granted, the Bucs have constantly been running into injuries. So, they fought their ass off. They tried really hard. Their rushing average, and that's the big thing without Bucky Irvin in there, it was 3.0 yards per play. Lions averaged about 5.1 yards per play when it came to that. And then turnovers wasn't that big of a thing, but sacks. The Lions had 5. The Bucks had none.
Yeah.
Man, you ain't no Lions fan.
Nah, it's a statement game. Statement game by the refs, man.
He's a Dolphins fan, bro. He's a Dolphins fan.
Statement game by the refs, man. What you talking about? No, but like, look, I will say it was definitely a sloppy game for the Buccaneers for sure. Baker Mayfield, again, he was pissed off with the referees. I think a lot of us were that were watching the game for the Bucs. But 28 for 50, come on, dude. That's not acceptable. And I get it. The offensive line not helping him at all, not doing him any favors. Charlie Heck, the backup right tackle, just getting bullied by Aiden Hutchinson most of the night. Running game couldn't even get going, like you said. Bucky was out, and then also too the offense losing Mike Evans to injury, broken collarbone, concussion, going to be out for most of the season now. At this point, it's going to be like the streak of 1,000-yard seasons. It's going to come to an end, and that's that alone. Like that sucks. And
that's the only way you can describe it is it sucks.
Yeah, and for a guy that just gonna go off talking about Mike real quick. Mike Evans, dude, class act. Not loud, not boastful, not obnoxious, just shows up to work, puts his best effort out there, and just continues to show up year after year, even though people continually criminally underrate him as a receiver. And we've talked about already the 1,000-yard streak tied with Jerry Rice, over 12,000 yards, over 100 receiving touchdowns. The only thing that's up for debate is if he's a first ballot Hall of Famer or not. I could see him being a first ballot, depending on who's on the ballot that year. But, I know for sure he's a bona fide Hall of Famer. But, yeah, going into my qualms with some of the calls with the referees, probably my biggest one, I believe it was in the third quarter, the Cade Otton, interception that really wasn't, in my opinion, because you have dual possession by Cade Otton and the Lions defender. And literally, Chiefs and Bills going back. Dual possession goes to the offense, and in that review, they gave it to Detroit. I don't understand why, we're kind of going back and forth on that one. The whole Cade Otton first down where they were challenging the spot not challenging the spot. They were challenging whether or not he fumbled the ball, and they failed that one. And then the referees can say, "Oh no, wait, no, come back. We're going to also review this double time too." It's like, what are we doing? Like, you guys in week 3 against the Jets didn't think that Egbuka's catch that he had on the sideline or non-catch on the sideline was worth a review. But now this play is worth 2? Are you kidding me, refs? Like, come on. Like, can we be consistent with how we're enforcing the rules? I don't care if you want to enforce it one way or another. Just be consistent across the board.
Be consistent. Be consistent.
Seriously. Spell it out. Like, come on. And then also to the Baker Mayfield trip at the end there, getting tripped by a defender. That's, if I'm not mistaken, that's also a rule. Like, you're not allowed to kick out and trip a dude like
Yeah,
that.
they definitely got away with that one.
So, like, come on. If you really want to do a good job of trying to say, no, we're not biased. No, we don't suck. You're doing an awful job at that, guys. Come on. This is Monday Night Football.
Why can't you trip somebody? You can tackle somebody at the legs. You could hit them right in the knees. You could grab. You could literally dive at their feet and grab it, but you can't trip somebody.
I think it's just probably has something to do with like they don't want to. I think it's maybe like why coaches can't do it on the sidelines. I don't fully know, but yeah, it's a
On the
weird
sideline.
world.
No. I'm talking about the players on the field.
Well, I know. I'm saying like I think it's inspired by that because then it's like, oh well, if you get tackled, you can just like kick your leg up, and your cleat's gonna get caught in somebody or something like that. It could get injured like that. I don't know.
I guess.
I'm feeling saucy tonight, man. Let's just introduce the NFL blitz, man. Let's just DDTs and power drivers, man. Let's go. My badass flag and power drivers. Let's go.
Heck yeah, I'm game for that.
Man. Let them do whatever they want in the locker room too. I know you know what I'm talking about. Dude,
Yep.
The thing that I've been telling you about the Bucks, BC, man, and two things, bro.
Yeah.
One, this is why I'm telling you that you guys cannot play from behind, bro. Because then you expect Baker to have, not you, just NFL fans and Tampa Bay Bucks fans in general, you expect Baker to have an awesome game like he's been having all season. You know guys are going to have bad games, right? You know that's going to happen. So how do you eliminate that? Is as a team, you don't play from behind and you throw the first punch from the beginning. But that didn't happen. Detroit was doing whatever they wanted. Jamar Gibbs had 106 yards and a TD before 6 minutes in the second quarter, bro. 14-0. They literally almost made it 21-0 going into halftime. And the Bucks are supposed to be this juggernaut team, number 1 seed, going to NFC right now, looking to get a bye week if the playoffs started today. And the way that they play against the Lions was like, it looks like they never played football. It looked like a varsity team versus a JV team. And you can't be playing like that. You can't be playing from behind. And that goes towards the defense as well, what we were talking about last week. You guys get turnover points, but you guys are, oh, yeah, we got defense sometimes. You can't get defense sometimes. You got to get defense all the time against the top-notch teams if you want to make it to the Super Bowl. And that's exactly what they're looking at, obviously. They're trying to get to the bowl, but you're playing against a team in the Lions who you might meet in the way to the bowl. And if you're going to be playing from behind and your defense can't get consistency, how do you guys expect to win?
And then I agree with you. We can't be relying on Jamel Dean having the season that he's having at cornerback, getting these interceptions clutch like he did, but then still finding a way to blow it on offense. And we have a lot of guys that are out hurt right now, but that's still no excuse. You guys got to still be able to have the next man up, step in, fill and win. And we were doing that. But I will say, I think that with Hassan Reddick being injured, I think that they definitely need to start exploring the trade market as well, trying to find some pass rushing help. Maybe somebody that can probably even be that starter when Hassan comes back, and that way you can have a decent rotation of guys. You're not just relying on your 2 starters mostly. You gotta, because right now, Anthony Nelson, Chris Braswell are just not performing at the level that we need them to as reserve pass rushers. Yaya is starting to, fall into place over there, but you need more interior and edge rushers out there on the side because secondary is looking pretty solid, I would say. Like Jamel Dean, Antoine Winfield Jr., Zion McCollum, Tyke Smith, they've all done a really good job, I think, this season. But that pass rush, though, from the edge needs to get better. And I would say also probably looking at some middle linebacker help, too, because I love Levante David. This could be his last season. He's getting up there in age. Servassier Dennis, he's started to kind of come into his own a little bit, but he even still struggled in this game against Jahmyr Gibbs. I saw Jahmyr Gibbs constantly blow by him, thinking, all right, who's that? Whose man is that? Whose man is that? And nobody covering him at all. So I definitely think, like you said, defense has to step up, and whether that's somebody from within or more than likely, probably need to explore the trade market. And I know some people are thinking, no, Jason Light likes to keep his hometown guys. I get that, or his homegrown guys, but You're trying to be contenders this year and next year. You can't necessarily try to keep trusting the process with some of these guys that aren't producing. Sometimes you just need to push your chips in, and you need to go get a piece like a Jason Pierre-Paul or an Ndamukong Suh, somebody that's a game wrecker that can help take that team to the next level. Not someone that's just going to be a compliment, but someone that's going to be like somebody you have to game plan around as an opposing team.
Yeah, and I think sometimes, as much as the Bucks looked off, sometimes you just have to realize that there's some amazing players out there. Jahmyr Gibbs, that performance that he put on was just flat out ridiculous, man. Jahmyr Gibbs ended up having, it was 136 rushing yards, 82 receiving yards, that would equal out to 218 yards and 2 touchdowns. Baker Mayfield threw for the entire game 228 yards passing. That's just how impressive Jahmyr Gibbs was by himself. He hit about 22 miles an hour, which I believe was the 3rd fastest play in the NFL in the last 3 or 4 years. So as much as the Bucks were off, Jahmyr Gibbs was just flat out on, man. And I agree with with getting checked in here. The Bucks got humbled, and I think that their playing style and how they've been playing for the last few weeks, the comeback from behind, it only lasts for so long. It is the NFL still, and you're playing against a bunch of guys that want to win just as bad. And Detroit is definitely one of those teams you can't fall behind on because they will put it on you, and they are not going to take the brakes off no matter what the score is or how the game is going. So I think that was just a overall bad performance for Tampa Bay. But if there is kind of silver lining to the situation, I guess, if you will, is that Tez Johnson looks like he's pretty good out there. And Buka, for coming off that injury that they were kind of worried about, still looked like he's pretty good. Unfortunately, with the Mike Evans, you just need Chris Godwin to maybe step up a little bit more whenever he's back, if he's officially back, or just not getting back up to football speed yet. But I think the Bucs are going to be all right going forward, but it's just going to be they can't afford to keep on doing this, play from behind and have Baker Mayfield play hero ball.
Yep. Yeah, just make sure everybody gets healthy for the postseason. Make sure that you got your Mike Evans, your Chris Godwin, your Jalen McMillans on offense, making sure that everybody's back and healthy. You don't need to have the number 1 seed to go on a run. You just need all of your guys healthy. And honestly, they said it on the broadcast. This pretty much what this season has been. This is what this season is gonna be. Whoever wins, it's not necessarily the best team, it's just the best team left.
Yeah.
Whatever product you have out there that you can scrape together and muster together in the final game, that's what's gonna win it. Whoever gets hurt less.
Yeah.
Healthiest team for sure.
Well, we also had a doubleheader on Monday night. Let me ask you guys this as well, man. Do you guys like the Monday nights doubleheaders?
I love it.
You do?
Love it.
I don't know, man. Did you like the doubleheader or do you like the simultaneous game?
I like the doubleheader. I'd rather watch a doubleheader than a simultaneous because then I have to go back and forth if I'm trying to watch both games. Not like Red Zone. If I'm trying to watch both, I have to go back and forth, and I'm not trying to do that. I'd rather have one game play and then have the other game after. Now,
I wish they didn't start at 10 though. That's just kind of late for the East Coast to start it.
And that's what I was gonna say. I think Monday nights, if you're gonna do doubleheader, like most people, a lot of people get out of work at 5 p.m. Right? And might as well start the game at 6. Like the first game started at 6 p.m. Eastern, get it over with by 9:30, and then start the next game. By the time that the next game is done, is midnight. It's Monday Night Football. Most of the time, Monday Night Football games ends like at 11:30, 11:45, depending on how good or long the game is. But at least that way, if you're gonna do a doubleheader, you gotta at least have the second game end by midnight, so it wouldn't be that much longer. But yeah, starting it at 10. The game didn't finish yesterday till like 1:30 in the morning because I was still awake and I was watching it. So I was like, dude, yo, man, this is taking forever.
Yep.
Well, speaking of the other game, we had the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Houston Texans, man. And the Seahawks, as you can see on the screen here, Seahawks came through with the win, 27-19. The Seattle defense held the Texans to 254 total yards and 3.7 yards per play. So it was a pretty dominant performance by the Houston Texans, or excuse me, the Seattle Seahawks. I'm loving Jackson Smith and Jigba, man. That kid is just showing out this year. 8 catches, 123 yards, and a touchdown, and his 3rd straight 100-yard receiving game. And how about the dunk at the end, man? He's only about 6 foot, and he just dunks like it's nothing on the goalpost. And I'm getting rid of that stupid rule, man. That is a stupid rule. Let him dunk on the damn goalpost, man. You can do all kinds of other ridiculous things, but you can't dunk on a goalpost. Get rid of that one. That's a stupid penalty right there, man. G-Mike, man, what was your thoughts on this game here, man? Seattle is looking pretty damn good these days, man.
Seattle looking great, man. That secondary is doing work, bro. I mean, CJ Stroud only 23 of 49, man. 229 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. Like, he had a decent game. Decent. But that secondary for the Seattle Seahawks is just fire. And then, bro, the Texans couldn't run the ball for nothing. I know that they're missing Joe Mixon like a mother, but dude, 2 carries for CJ Stroud, 25 yards. Nick Chubb, 5 carries, 16 yards. Woody Marks, the rookie, 10 carries for 15 yards. 10 carries for 15 yards. No rushing TDs. Bro, horrible. I mean, I know the Seattle Seahawks run defense is good, and they're getting better from week to week, but, dude, Houston, man, I don't know, man. They really fell off. A lot of people, including myself, picked them to win the division. Doesn't even look like they're going to make the wild card game, bro. I don't know. But I like the way the Seahawks are playing. They're a very run-first team. Kenneth Walker, 17 carries, 66 yards, no TDs because they gave it a Zach Charbonnet, 12 carries, 49 yards, 2 TDs. Right?
Yeah, Charbonnet was definitely got two rushing touchdowns. It's hard to figure out what they're doing in Seattle with the run game because they do have 2 capable running backs. It just seems like they're not really – I don't know. I don't know if it's like the hot hand approach or what they're actually doing with that approach, but I don't like it really. But hey, shout out to Sam Darnold, man. Sam Darnold's been playing really damn good these last couple of years, and we were talking about it before, man. I've been a Sam Darnold truther back since the Minnesota days, and man, I just like an impressiveness that he's playing with, man. He looks calm in the pocket. He looks happy in Seattle, like they were saying this on the broadcast as well that. He just got his first house there. He's got engaged. I think Darnold's going to be the future of the Seahawks for a little while, to be honest with you. Here's some eyes I didn't realize, too. Doesn't it seem like Sam Darnold's been in the league for many, many years or something like that? Like he's old. He's only 28 years old. Like, yeah, I found that really weird.
Like 2017, no?
He was 3rd round pick. I mean, that sounds about right. 2017, somewhere in that area in there. Yeah. But it just feels like because he's bounced around teams that he's just been in the league for years and years. He's only 28 years old. I mean, this dude literally, the way he's playing, has another 10 years left in him and lots of more money to make, So I think he is going to be the future of Seattle. I think they were smart in the contract they gave him. They gave him a decent amount of money, but they didn't extend it for super long. But I can see if he finishes out the season strong and can perform in the playoffs, as long as they can make the playoffs, I can see them extend that contract pretty quickly with Sam Darnold.
Yeah, and I mean, just to kind of show some love to the Seattle defense, top 10 in yards, and then number 6 in points allowed, like that. Again, benchmark stats for defense right there, and they're top 10 in both categories. It's one of those like you said, like they dominate in terms of run defense for sure. Like I said, they lead the league in touchdowns they lead the league in terms of not giving up touchdowns to opponents on the ground. So, but it's the defense for Seattle really does, like, they don't have necessarily the same, I guess, hype you could say of the Legion of Boom, don't have the name, don't have the branding or recognition, but honestly, they've just been quietly great. And for a team that plays in such a loud stadium, they really just fly under the radar and just are consistently just great every single week to week. Again, even playing against the Bucs, like, we barely eked out a win over there. So they just really do a great job of just not really – it's not necessarily one guy leading the whole team. It's a whole group effort out there in Seattle, and that's winning football.
Yeah, what's wild, too, is actually the Seahawks, like you brought it up before, the Legion of Boom and how, like, the 12th man and stuff, they've actually played better on the road than they have in Seattle, which – going back maybe a decade ago, it was unheard of. They were dominant at home, but they've won, I think, 9 on the road now, or 9 or 10 on the road or something. So Seattle's just been impressive overall. So I'm liking what I'm seeing out of them. And that NFC West is going to be interesting with the Rams. Rams look good, and the Seahawks. The Cardinals obviously cooled off, and then who else is even in that?
The Niners.
Yeah, the Niners. Well, forget about it. Yeah, the Niners. Niners keep on winning impressively, too. Like, I don't know how the hell they're doing it, but the Niners keep on pulling it off, too. So that NFC West is going to be a fun division to watch, man.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get any brand again for Seattle, I mean, no name defense. If you want to steal it from the '70s Dolphins, or like if you want to, I just had it though. Oh crap! I just had the branding name though too, right there. Shoot, it'll come back to me when we get it in time. But that's the perks of being old, right there. But again, Seattle. Oh, there you go. The Road Warriors. There you go. Road Warriors. Come at me with the trademarks, guys.
There we go. All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for the 2 Monday night games. We're going to breeze through this Thursday night game for you real quick. And if you didn't know, now you know. It's the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. This one's going to be a fun game, too. I believe that Carson Wentz will still be quarterbacking for the Minnesota Vikings. And the Chargers just coming off a loss to the Indianapolis Colts. But they have that offense clicking. Their line is constantly banged up, though, man. I feel really bad for Justin Herbert. I hope he can make it through the season because this dude is just getting smacked around left and right. And they don't really have much of a run game right now because of Hampton getting hurt, and they can't really do much on that end of it as well. Mr. BC, man, what's your thoughts on this game? It's going to be a pretty decent game, though, I think.
I think so, and I feel like with how kind of the line of attack with Philly versus Minnesota this past week, I think you're just going to see Justin Herbert turned up. I know LA's kind of been more of that ground and pound scheme ever since Jim Harbaugh came to LA. But I honestly feel like this is the game where you really just want to let it fly. The pass defense for Minnesota is kind of suspect again, especially after the performance Jalen Hurts had against them. So I think this is the time where you just let Herbert go ham on him. Just let him air it out. Really throw it back to those like 70s and 80s Eric Coryell offenses and just see how much Herbert can run up the score for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I like what Herbert's been doing for sure, but I can't take the Chargers in this one because of their offensive line just being so banged up, man. And the Vikings defense, they're not top 10 right now. They have the ability to be up top 10, but they've been slacking. They've been a lot of inconsistency with their pass defense and their rush defense. And the way that the Chargers rush defense is just horrible in the last 4 weeks, man. Jordan Mason, I think he's going to have a big game. He'll probably have a tutty with like 65-plus rush yards. I think, Justin Jefferson, he always does his thing, no matter who's the quarterback there. Carson Wentz, he could put the ball on him in the numbers. He could get it to his guys. He's a smart quarterback, but just the way that the Vikings defense can get to Justin Herbert this game, I think there could be about 2 sacks. And the way that the running backs for the Chargers are just depleted, I don't know if they're going to be able to run the ball well against this nice rush defense. I got to take Minnesota winning by a field goal in this game.
I'm taking Minnesota as well. I think you nailed it on the head. I think the offensive line is way too depleted right now, and I think Minnesota's just going to run rampant on them and blitz the hell out of them. And I think Herbert's going to put up some numbers, but I think he's going to get hit a lot in this game as well. So I'm taking Minnesota in this one in a tight game. BC?
Give me LA by 10.
LA by 10?
My man's feeling good.
I'll go bold.
All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for the NFL for this for today, and it's about time for the Fall Classic. And what that means is we got the bullpen for Mr. Brandon.
America's pastime from Brandon's bullpen.
All right, fellas. Well, we have the World Series up and coming, and it's starting on Friday. And if you haven't heard yet, it is the Los Angeles Dodgers taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. This one's got star power written all over it, man. It's going to be a really, really interesting series. Mr. BC, you got any kind of fun facts? What's your thoughts on this game? How are you feeling about this one?
I mean, for anybody that knows scoregami, that's basically where you get a score that you never seen before. This is kind of like matchup origami right here. First time ever in the World Series you've seen the Dodgers and the Blue Jays here. First World Series appearance for the Blue Jays since my birth year, 1993. So it's been 32 years, Toronto. So it's good to have you guys back. Hopefully, in my opinion, I hope maybe you guys can get the dub. Obviously, the Dodgers are the new are the new Yankees in a sense, the evil empire back, just kind of switching coast over there. It's funny how we went from the most common World Series matchup, which was Yankees-Dodgers, to now a first-time appearance. And honestly, it has the makings of a David-Goliath matchup, which anybody watching at home, anybody loves themselves some entertainment. This is something that you want to see. Obviously, you've got the Dodgers who are just absolutely stacked top to bottom with that lineup. Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, etc. Literally every single spot can hit. The starting pitching for the Dodgers has been absolutely rolling so far this postseason. More than likely, Blake Snell is going to be taking him out in game one. Last outing, 8 innings, no runs at all, scoreless. And honestly, the Dodgers bullpen really hasn't been used much this postseason. The starting pitchers have just been kind of going the distance, and even when they have been, they've been able to kind of shut it down when they need to. So honestly, man, it of all the teams that you look to try to compete against the Dodgers, the Blue Jays were not exactly the team that I had picked to win it. But again, they're not shy either. You've got George Springer, you've got Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Vladdy Dottie over there, and then more than likely taking the mound on Friday evening, I believe you've got either, let me pull it up, potentially it might be Kevin Gossman, although he pitched in Game 5 and then got brought in for bullpen relief in Game 7 of the ALCS. So you could get maybe rookie sensation Trey Savage getting a shot. Potentially, that would be something. I don't know if we've ever seen a rookie start Game 1 of the World Series. I'd have to double check that, but that would be, you go from one of the multiple aces that the Dodgers have, and taking him on is a rook like that. I don't know. Again, it's got the makings of, I think, a much better World Series this season or this year than last year's. I will say I'm going to predict there's going to be much less errors, much less mistake, or a much more mistake-free baseball play than what we saw from last year's matchup for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be an awesome World Series, honestly, too. And I think that it's gonna come down, like you were saying, the pitching. The Dodgers pitching has just been flat out on fire, and they didn't really have to even really waste a bunch of their pitchers in that last series they had. I mean, you had a couple guys going the distance, and let's just I feel like it's all right and safe to say it. Let's crown Shohei as is he the GOAT now, man? Like that dude is just absolutely ridiculous in what he's able to do consistently, night in, night out. The pitching, the batting, this base stealing. I don't know, man. I've never seen anything like it, and it's awesome too because he's entertaining. He has it seems like he has a good attitude. I'm a huge Ohtani fan. If you like baseball, I think you gotta love what he's able to do, man. G Mike, you got any kind of thoughts on this series, man?
Man, I just think LA is gonna pull the two-peat, man. I think they're gonna go back to back. I don't think Toronto is gonna be able to put it up with them, man. I think LA will probably win in 6. Honestly, I think Otani's gonna put the team on his back like he's been doing for the last years. And you saw it last game: 10 Ks, 3 home runs. Wow, freaking animal, dude. It's just awesome to see, bro. It's awesome to see some type of entertaining baseball like that. And I think, again, I just think the Dodgers are gonna go back to back. I don't think Toronto's gonna be able to stop them.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree. It's just definitely going to be an interesting series. I'm going with the Dodgers as well in the series. I think that that LA's just got it all up and down. But watch out for Vladdy, man. Vladdy's been doing really well, and you got George Springer. You got George Springer who pulled out vintage George Springer in the playoffs. I thought Seattle was going to be able to pull it off. And if you're watching that Monday night game, man, all the guys, everybody in the crowd, you can hear this the air seep out of the crowd as Springer hits that home run to put him over the top, So that was a vintage Springer moment there. It's really good. I've always been a Springer fan, so that was pretty cool to see him pull that off. BC, you're up, man. I'm taking the Dodgers to win this again.
Yeah, it appears that Bo Bichette, shortstop for the Jays, he might be back in the World Series. He's kind of out for a good while, but it seems like he's going to be able to come back into the lineup. That's huge for them. But I don't think it's going to be enough. And honestly, I think that the Dodgers pull it off. I'm going to give them a gentleman's sweep here. I think that they're just too overpowered. I don't think the Blue Jays will necessarily do enough to be able to stop them. I will say, like, they do put the ball in play really well. Like, they might not necessarily wow you with the fantastic plays and wow you with like home run after home run, but they do a good job of getting the ball in play. But I just don't think that's going to be enough against the Dodgers pitching staff that they have. Again, starting pitching has just been going wire to wire, and the bullpen is, I think, as fresh as it could be for this series, and they have a lot of guys in there that can lock it down in the later innings. So yeah, I'm gonna be a little bit meaner than G Mike. I'm gonna say it's a gentleman's sweep, but I got the Dodgers winning this one, and in the words of Dave Roberts, they're going to be ruining baseball even more. So, and probably by 2027, we're going to be getting another lockout, and we're going to be having another CBA agreement, and probably a salary cap for 2028. There's my prediction. Boom.
Wow. To see you guys, you gambling folks out there,
Put it
Dodgers
on.
to win. Dodgers
Yep.
to win 4-2 plus 375, $25 makes you 118.
There you go.
Hey, we like it, man. We like it. Well, that's going to wrap up the bullpen, and it is time to get into some basketball. So let's ball, baby.
It's From the Hardwood with VFTS.
NBA.
All right, fellas. So what we're going to end up doing right now is we're going to make our selections for the NBA awards. Maybe on the next episode, we'll go ahead and make our picks for the championship and all that. But right now, we're just going to stick to the awards in the interest of time. So we're going to go ahead and start with the big dogs of everybody's picks here, and that is going to be the MVP. Mr. G. Mike, you are up first, and your MVP is
Nikolai Jokic. I think he's gonna go out there and
Good
he's gonna go kill the
pronunciation.
game. He's just gonna kill the game. He got Cam Johnson that came over from the Brooklyn Nets, and he's gonna be able to get so many assists, so many rebounds, so many points. He's gonna be able to stop this guy.
Good Serbian accent there, bud.
Yeah, right. A little practice.
You
Yeah,
know,
but I just
like-
think, dude, I think Jokic, man, I think he's been deserving of the MVP the last 5 years, bro. Honestly, it's just like the same effect that MJ had, Magic had, Shaq had, Braun had, and now Jokic is going through it. That the NBA just won't give him the MVPs all the time because they need to switch it up and they need to give it to other folks and stuff like that, which I get. And don't get me wrong, Shai is deserving of it. SGA is deserving of it. Other players like Joel Embiid, that 1 year that he got it over Jokic, I think he was deserving of it too. But when you really look at the numbers and you really look at the impact that they have towards their team on winning, Jokic is that guy, and he's been doing it for so long. He deserves the MVP every single year for the last 5 years.
well said, man. Well said. All right, Mr. BC, you are up, my friend, and you are taking back-to-back.
Yep, I very much am. You're going to notice the theme of my awards picks here. But again, do I agree that Jokic has been the best player in the league for the last 5 years? Like humanly, yeah. But I do think that we're going to start seeing a change in the guard just a little bit. I think that SGA, what he's doing in Oklahoma City, not just for team success, but also too what he did last year, what I think he's going to do this year. I think he's going to continue to take leaps and steps to be even more well-rounded and even better basketball player than he was, an even bigger two-way force on the perimeter. I think that he's just going to, level up, and I think that he's going to go back-to-back with the MVPs. And again, I think the difference is going to be the two-way impact and voter fatigue. I think that Jokic getting 3, SGA only getting 1, and then I think also, too, a lot of people are going to see the importance of defense that Shea brings to the table on the perimeter. I think that people are going to give him that slight nod because when it comes to playing defense, one is an all-defensive player, all-defensive caliber player. The other, you better just have another good defensive big next to him on the block.
Valanciunas.
Yeah. All right, well, mine is going to be Victor Wembanyama. I have a lot of expectations for Victor Wembanyama, even though he did have the blood clots the tail end of last season. I am really hyped on Victor this year. I think that he's going to take it to the next level. The rumors have been that he is all of a sudden getting in better shape, putting on a little bit of muscle. I just like his game all around. He can do literally everything. I got an alert today as a Dallas Mavericks fan. I got an alert today that because they're playing the first game, which will be tomorrow against the Mavs, the players warned Cooper Flagg, You've never seen anything like Victor Wembanyama, so be ready. There's nobody that's ever been like this guy before. I thought that was a pretty cool little thing right there. But I'm going with Victor Wembanyama as the MVP. He could do it all. And I don't think there's really a flaw in his game. The only thing I think maybe a flaw would just be if he could put on a little bit more weight, a little bit of muscle. But that's just going to happen over time. I think the kid is like maybe 19 or 20 years old max. So I think the future is extremely bright as long as he can stay healthy. But I'm going Victor Wembanyama as my MVP. Mr. G, Mike, you are up. Next up on the docket is going to be the most improved player of the year. And you took
Benedict. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Don't
Benedict Mathern.
I think with Tyrese Halliburton gone, I think Numbar is going to do well as being the facilitating guard for sure. But since he's going to have more minutes on the floor, they're going to ask a lot more for Mathern. And he's going to be able to score. He's going to be putting up, I think he'll put up right there. It says he dropped 16.1 points per game last season. I think he's going to hit the 20 threshold. I think he's going to have probably 3 assists a game and probably like 6 to 7 rebounds a game. So I think he's going to be very the most improved. I think he's going to help the Pacers get into the playoffs, maybe in the play-in game, but if not, the 6th seed. And they're going to have to depend on him a lot this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, well said, man. Well said. And that's it. He was a great player last year, so I'm excited to see what he's going to be able to do this year. All right, Mr. BC, you're up next, and you chose
Chet Holmgren from the Oklahoma City Thunder. Again, I told you, y'all, we're going to be sensing the theme right here. But my boy has put on a little bit of some weight in the offseason. I think that's definitely going to play a factor into this season. I think that he definitely established himself as the third option for OKC. I feel like he's going to take a step up this year and really contend with J-Dub for that number 2 option spot, especially being great weak side defender on the block, being able to kind of stretch the floor and kind of guard multiple positions, being that Swiss Army knife on defense for OKC that he was relied upon so much last year for. And I just think as well, like he's going to take leaps and bounds on the offensive side too. I feel like he's going to be in that all defense, all NBA, all star, kind of that triple crown category there. Maybe not necessarily taking all 3, but being that all around, I think, great player and really contributing and stepping up the game. And again, it's going from string being to putting on a little bit of some bulk right there. I see, Chet. Getting a little swole.
Got him in fantasy basketball, baby.
There you go.
Mine was I'm going with Dalton Knecht. I think that his rookie season was a little bit less than I expected it to be. I think he's going to step up a lot this year, going with the Lakers, because I think LeBron's going to be doing definitely a lot of load management, and they're going to need to be able to make playmakers. And I think Luka's going to find him because Luka's going to call for a lot of the attention, be able to dish it off for him. He was a 3-point shooter back whenever he was at college at Tennessee. He was had a lot of confidence, and I just don't think that he was able to showcase it a lot. It shouldn't be very hard for him to improve upon. He was only averaging about 9.1 points a game. Now, he was shooting at 46.1% from the field goal percentage. So that's a damn good percentage. Basically, he's making almost half the shots that he takes. Granted, if you're only taking X amount of shots, it's a little bit easier to pad that stat. But I just have a lot of high hopes for him. We were talking about it last year. If you want to go back, this was who I was picking as one of my rookies of the year. I have a lot of confidence in him. I think that now having a season under his belt, I think he's going to the sky's the limit for what this kid can actually do if he's given the opportunity out in LA. All right, so moving forward, Mr. G, Mike, you are up, and we're going with the 6th man of the year.
Josh Hart, baby. I think they're gonna ask a lot of him from this season. I think what they went through last year in the playoffs, they need someone else that can facilitate, that can score, and that can grab rebounds more consistently. Obviously, we've seen that from Josh Hart. He's able to drop triple doubles. You know, he does a lot of impact for the team. He plays good defense as well. But I think they're gonna ask more from him. Their starting 5 is solidified. It's already set. I think they're gonna want to give him more minutes because he's the type of player that doesn't even want to come off the floor. There was a few of playoff games that he literally did not come off the floor. So if he's able to score more, assist more, and grab more rebounds, I don't think there's going to be anybody else in the 6-man position that's going to do more than him.
Good argument.
You guys back?
Nope.
You back?
Yeah.
I was about to say, I'm like, what?
Technology is amazing.
It is. We'll edit this in a sec.
All right, so you got Josh Hart as your sixth man of the year. All right, Mr. BC, you are up, and you are with your sixth man of the year. We have you taking, if I can find him for you right here real quick. Sorry about that.
About to say,
Go different.
Yeah, sorry about that. That whole thing got messed up with that delay we had going on there right there. Sorry about that. We had stuff going on there, but that's what you got to love, the beauty of live streaming, live television, the whole thing. We're going to be back on track momentarily. Sorry about that.
Oh, good. You know what? I'm going to bring up the score of the OKC versus Houston right now. Houston is up by 10, 61-51. And let's see who's going off for these guys. I know KD was doing a little work. He got 16 points, 7 for 12, 6 rebounds, 1 assist. Okay. We got Amen Thompson, who's running the point. He got 12 points, he got 4 rebounds, but the guy is 5 from 11 and 0 for 5 from 3. Segun looks like he's gonna drop a triple-double. He got 10 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 for 3 from 3, but he's 3 from 8 from the field. He got to shoot a little bit better. Let's look at the OKC side. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, only 5 points. That's your MVP. It's your MVP.
Right, it's one game, dude. It's one
it's the
game.
opener.
81 to go, man. Come on.
Chet Holmgren, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 7 for 10. And their bench is actually what's keeping them afloat, man. Their starting is not doing too well, but we got Ajay Mitchell, 9 minutes, 4 from 9 from the field, 3 for 5 from 3, 12 points. Only 9 minutes. Wow.
Man, that's efficiency right there.
Yep.
I was going to say, I was going to go ahead and ask you what Alex Caruso's totals were for right now for this game.
He is 11 minutes
Speaking
in.
of which,
1 for 2.
Ooh.
He's 1 for 2 from 3 as well. Those are the only shots that he's taken. He's only has 3 points, 1 assist, 1 rebound.
All right. Well, that aside, that is still nonetheless my pick for sixth man of the year. Again, I told you there was a thing, but I promise you, this is the last OKC pick that I have for the award. So everybody that's like, oh my gosh, this is so basic, promise you, that's it.
Basic.
It's gonna play into our predictions for the season and everything. There's a plan. Just follow me. But I feel like with Caruso, he's one of those guys who's been a veteran, been around the league long enough. He's a guy that makes he's not just gonna give you he's not just gonna give you a lot of points off the bench. He can score from inside. He can score multi-levels. He's got a decent 3-point shot. But I also think that, again, the two-way impact that he brings to playing off the bench, being a leader off the bench, showing that it's not just, okay, well, how many points can I score? But also, too, being able to facilitate, being able to pick up the best one of the best options on the opposing team and be like, all right, I'm going to lock him down. That's been Alex Caruso's game for a very long time. He is fearless on both sides of the ball. And so I think that this year he's going to be able to kind of put that together. I feel like they'll trust him more with as being a leader on that second unit. And I feel like that all-around game, being able to score multiple levels, being able to be a good playmaker, and also being able to be one of the best on-point defenders in the entire league coming off the bench, I think is what will do him in as far as being the consensus sixth man of the year.
Not a bad pick, man. Not a bad pick. He's been extremely important, I know, to OKC. Mine, I'm going to go with Jonathan Kuminga of the Golden State Warriors. I'm a little surprised that he's even going to be like a sixth man in that category right now. But I think Kuminga could eventually work his way into possibly being a starter. But freshly paid, so he's going to be sticking around with OKC. OKC, with Golden State. I just like his game. I think that they're going to depend on him a lot more now that Steph's getting a little bit older, Draymond's getting a little bit older. I think that he's going to be possibly the future of what OKC has been doing. So I like Jonathan Kuminga as the sixth man of the year. All right, so this next one we've all actually agreed once, and that's going to be the defensive player of the year. So we can all say it at the same time if you want, and that is the one, the only Victor Wembanyama. We all have Victor Wembanyama winning the defensive player of the year.
Wow.
He should have won it for the last about 2 years since he's been in the league. He's been pretty much dominating this. It just came down to the last year with the blood clots issue that he had. So I have him going with the MVP and defensive player of the year, which is something that hasn't been done in a very, very long time.
That would be dope. That would be dope.
Yeah.
All right, well, on to the youngsters. And you two actually chose the same rookie of the year, so you guys can go ahead and explain your thoughts on this one. And that is Cooper Flag of the Dallas Mavericks.
Hold up. You didn't pick
I
Cooper?
didn't.
I
didn't
was like, well, you
because-
two picked the same guy. And I'm like, wait a sec. You two.
Yeah,
Why do you not
didn't
pick your own guy?
I didn't just because I didn't want to. I was trying to not be an ultra homer, but I do think that Cooper Flag is amazing.
Dude, come on, man. That's
Come on, man.
like a
It's
no-brainer,
okay.
bro. A no-brainer.
You can be honest with this, so we both agree with you. Like he is.
Let's talk about yours. Bring up yours.
Yeah, bring up yours.
All right. I went with Dylan Harper of the San Antonio Spurs. As a Dallas, you would think that I'm a Spurs fan as much as I've been picking Victor and I've been talking about the Spurs, but I just like the way they're coming. But I'm a
award representation.
diehard Dallas Mavericks fan. Let's not get that crazy. But I think Harper's his game is going to translate very well into the NBA. His dad was a former player. I think he has that ultimate dog in him. And I just like his scoring ability and his defensive prowess, what he's going to be able to do on the court. But I just like his game. He was great in college. I think that the San Antonio Spurs are great at finding their picks. They have great scouts. They pick people that fit what they want to do. Harper's got that. He's been in around locker rooms his entire life, if you will, with his dad being a pro as well. So I don't think the moment's going to be too big for him. And I think he's going to fit in fantastic with what they're trying to do they got a Sexton out there, or not Sexton, Castleton, Wembanyama, Fox, and Harper. I think it's going to be one hell of a duo to be seeing that one.
A lot of guards, bro. And the reason why I wouldn't choose him, and I think your argument is valid. I think he's going to be a great player. I think he's going to be runner-up or if not third. But the reason I wouldn't pick one reason is because Cooper Flag, bro. He's just that guy. He literally is
there's no there
and offensively. But the other thing is, I don't think that 3 years in a row San Antonio Spurs are going to have rookies of the years. Like we had Victor Wembanyama, Stephon Castle, and I don't think it's going to happen with Dylan Harper 3 years in a row. I don't know. That's just a superstitious conspiracy side.
That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, I like Dylan Harper, like you said, but I just think that the amount of guards that San Antonio already has, I feel like, and he's not that he's going to get lost in the shuffle, but I feel like his minutes are going to be too hampered. And Cooper Flag is Cooper Flag.
And
like, let's all be honest,
Flag
man.
is starting off rip.
Yeah, and he's going to be given so much. Like, he might be maybe the third option behind Kyrie and AD. Probably, maybe even not. Maybe like halfway through the season they make the switch, just because they'll start him off, giving him the rookie responsibilities. But honestly, like, he's going to be given so much, and he's going to be playing with two of some of the best players in the league right off the rip as well. Like, there's not going to be any, trying to figure out, okay, well, what's his role? What's he doing here? What's like with Dylan Harper? I think he's just going to be given the keys to the kingdom a lot earlier, and I feel like he's just going to be given way more opportunities.
I think Cooper Flag is in the absolute best position out of any of the rookies that got drafted. And not even just for stat padding, just the players around him. They're going to be probably one of the biggest teams in the league right now. I mean, Cooper Flag's 6'7", 6'8", somewhere in there. Anthony Davis is going to be out there. Their team is just going to be big. So they're going to be defensive. They're going to be able to score. They have Cooper Flag running point in the preseason. So that could be something interesting as well. Like, the kid has that good of handles that he's able to do this. I think that it's going to work out very well, and I think Dallas is going to have one hell of a year with Cooper Flag. As long as he stays healthy, just like everything else. And Kyrie isn't even in the picture yet. So you add Kyrie to this, they're going to be able to be very, very versatile. And with the other luxury I think Dallas is going to have with Cooper Flag, if this working him at point guard works, is that you don't have to rush Kyrie Irving back. Once Kyrie Irving comes back, obviously he is the point guard. I mean, I'm not trying to say that, but what I'm saying is that you can have ample amount of time for Kyrie to get back in his absolute best shape that he can be in after the injury. He's a little bit older. You can almost even have him coming off the bench if Kyrie wanted to, or you know what I'm saying? Like, you can have Kyrie have to slowly work himself in and not have to be back right away if this thing works out the way I'm thinking it's going to be.
So you're telling us your real pick is Cooper Flag.
So you're picking Cooper Flag is what I heard.
I really do think Harper's going to be great.
Good bait and switch there, Steve. Good bait and switch there, bud.
Okay, it's okay.
All right, fair enough. All right, and
we respect your pick, man. It's not because you're a homer. It's because it's obvious.
It's obvious.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that I think that Cooper Flagg will probably win, but if Dylan Harper wins, I also will be the guy that said that too. So I win either way.
You covered your bases. Gotcha.
All right, so we have the Coach of the Year is the last award, and G Mike and I both picked the same thing. So Brandon, I'll have you go first, and you are repping your home team, and that is the Orlando Magic.
And I do not
Not a bad
mind that
pick.
at all. I think that because of how weak the Eastern Conference is going to be, I could see the Magic getting as high as the 2 seed, maybe even the 1, depending on how healthy New York stays. But if the Magic come anywhere near the top 2 seeds, if they come anywhere near the Eastern Conference Finals, I think you got to give it to Coach Mo and them. The fact that this team, obviously, again, battled through so many injuries last year, 41-41, been taking it to a lot of the best teams in the conference, Cleveland a couple years ago, Boston the year before that. And then if they can somehow find a way to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, heck, again, if they make the top seed in the East and make it to the NBA Finals, even if they lose against a juggernaut team like the Thunder or even the Nuggets, Coach Mo's done a fantastic job with that team. The defense that they play, they don't have, I think, a single player that averages like 2 blocks or 2 steals. Maybe one guy gets all defensive nods and Jalen Suggs, but yet they're still top 2 in the league in defense for the majority of the seasons. And on top of that, now you're also bringing in a great coaching staff along with him, be able to help improve the offense, though, too. You get Desmond Bane and stuff. I think depending on how well the offense plays and how well the team does, if it all works out, I think Coach Mo is going to be your option. And honestly, I feel like for them, they probably go 2 seed this year and then make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I think that's what they do this year, and that's why I think Coach Mo, I think will get Coach of the Year, because you can't go from middle of the pack to all of a sudden boom in immediate title favorites and not give him his flowers for that.
Well said,
I
my
just
man.
wanna say, I think Cavs get 1, Knicks get 2, and you guys get 3. Just want to say that.
Well, G Mike and I both pick all J Kidd, so I was able to sneak in some sort of Dallas pick in my picks in here. I think Jason Kidd, after the extension with Dallas, I think that he's done really well from what he's been able to have. He had to deal with that Luka trade, Kyrie getting hurt, Anthony Davis getting hurt. I really like what they're going to be able to do. I think that this team is going to be defensive and be able to score with anybody in the league. But I think their main mindset, to me, it seems like they're going to be a very defensive team, almost ergo Orlando Magic kind of style. But I think they'll have a little bit more firepower when it comes to the offensive side than Orlando probably will. But they're to me, the way they're built right now, they remind me of kind of like Orlando a little bit.
Yeah, I think they'll probably be the best defensive team in the game this season coming up for sure. If everybody stays healthy, of course. When Kyrie comes back, that's just going to give them more of a juice on offense. But I think their offense is going to be pretty good. It's not. I don't think it'll be top 10. I think it'll be under it when it comes to scoring. But when Kyrie comes back, maybe they could sneak in there by the end of the year in the 10th spot. But I like the team overall and how it's built, man. They got depth, they got height, they got defense, and then when Kyrie comes up, they're gonna have more offense. So I think Coach Kidd, he's gonna be able to take this team to maybe to the top 3 seeds in the Western Conference, man, and I think he's gonna win that award.
Well said. I agree with you on that, man. I think Dallas is going to be an interesting team to watch this year, just for defensively and just to see what Cooper Flagg, my quote unquote rookie of the year pick, is. Air quotes. All right, fellas, so that's going to wrap it up for us tonight for Views to the Stands. I am Stevie B, Steve Brennan. We truly appreciate you guys watching. Mr. BC, G Mike, you guys got anything for the people before we sign off?
Horns up. We ranked 18th, baby. Go Bulls.
Can't believe we lost to Louisville, bro. Cannot believe we lost to Louisville, bro.
It's weird. Last episode, you were all hyped about UM and all this stuff, and now we're closing with you saying, I can't believe they lost.
But for real, like, do you guys believe that we lost to Louisville? Come on, man. Oh,
no, it seems like Miami always does that. Once a year, they'll put up a stinker on somebody, and like, bro. What the hell?
I mean, we still have playoff hopes for sure, but we can't be losing to teams like that, man. Yeah. Like and subscribe, folks. Like and subscribe.
Make his day a little bit better.
Make G Mike less sad.
There we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to sign it off. So we really appreciate everything you guys watching with us. Please like, comment, subscribe. Check out the pod match in Varsity Sports. We have been on there as well. Amazon Music, Spotify. Please, if you can, hit the bell. Give us a subscribe, and it'll let you know whenever we're going live. And if you can, please take the time to write us a review and let us know how we're going. If there's anything you want to improve upon, or even want to come on the show, let us know, please. We really appreciate everything you guys are doing, and we will see you Saturday morning. Peace.